Yo, what's good, everyone?
It's good, man.
Good morning.
Good.
Appreciate you joining us last minute, man. I know I
Yeah,
only
cheers,
mentioned
Ellis,
it
man.
about
Hope you're
an
good.
hour ago.
No, it's cool. I literally saw the message like half an hour ago. I was like, yeah, why not?
You just wake up as well.
I got up at like 9, so got up and saw the message.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your schedule been like these days? Because you do a mix of everything, don't you? Obviously, you're focusing on YouTube, but then the placement game as well, and obviously the synth palace stuff with Jack. How you
Yeah,
managing to like, balance
like,
everything?
It's looking been a little bit. It's been alright actually to balance it. To be fair, because to be fair, a lot of it's to do with my whiteboard in the back. You can't see, but I've got a massive whiteboard in my room. Just kind of, like I'm sure everyone kind of knows this, but like to kind of display what I need to do and stuff. But it's a bit weird because I've got to literally balance like so many things. Because like someone actually in my city is like this like pretty well known artist in the Philippines or something like that. So I'm going with him as well. So like whenever like I finish editing, sending loops out, whatever, then I just like go over to his. We make music then. So it's like it's a little bit non-stop, but I kind of enjoy it. So it's not really too bad.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Where are you based?
I'm around like Norfolk. So
Oh,
on
yeah,
the east
yeah,
side.
No days off at the moment, then.
Nah, bro. I mean, it's gotten a bit weird because it's like I can't really have a day off because I don't know. Like mentally, it just feels really weird. It feels like I need to kind of achieve something each day. That's kind of how I like to see it. And like, I don't see it as a bad thing. I just think it's nice to get something out of each day, sort of thing. So whenever I have a day off or like I try to have a break, I'm just really bored.
I hear you, man.
It's just like became such like a lifestyle thing that when I try to pull out of it, then I don't really know what to do.
Yeah, I hear that.
I definitely hear that.
Can definitely.
I think it's different when you actually enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I kind of feel like it'd be worse if obviously I didn't enjoy it, and I guess it's the same with you guys. If you didn't enjoy it, I feel like you wouldn't push it as much. Like that. The motivation's sort of there when you like doing it. It kind of makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, 100%, man. I try to take some days off, like, because I live with my girl and she has weekends off. We've had to like find a balance because if I was just working every day, it's not really fair on her. But then at the same time, when I'm taking time off and we're not doing anything, I'm like, man, I could just be cooking up right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tough, but I definitely hear you.
No, literally, like, I mean, I'm kind of in the same situation, but like, there's even some points where like, I'd have my girl over and I'll be like, yo, do you mind if I record like 21 shots real quick? It's gotten that bad, bro.
Oh, that is hilarious.
That's using it for vocal phrases and everything.
No, but I'm quite blessed because she kind of understands it all. So
it's like that video. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's that guy explaining to his girl like how a synth works. I don't know if it's like a fake video, like a setup, but he's like, and then you press this and it filters the master. And she's just sat there like, imagine it's like that.
Yeah, that's how it gets. Yeah.
Have you ever tried doing that? Any of you guys like try and explain, or like you're excited about something and you start explaining it to someone, then you realize halfway through that they have no idea what you're talking about, or like it's just like a friend and you just like
explaining. So you DJ then?
Yeah. So you make noises.
Oh, the DJ phrase, bro. Like, it's the worst.
That's what everyone says. When you get talking to someone that's not in this world, you're trying to explain what you do. And like, oh yeah. So you DJ. Like,
so basically you're a DJ. Or they'll ask, or if it's like an old friend who you told you're going to start doing music to like a few years ago, and then they're like, are you still doing your little DJ thing? Like, yeah, still doing it.
Bro, my girl's mum used to think that I sold ringtones. So when she was speaking to her friends, she was telling people that I sold ringtones. Like,
oh my god,
that's crazy. Imagine back in the day if you were selling ringtones, you probably made bank on that. If you got like a cut of that each time.
Yeah, that was
the
one
ones
that
they used to do on TV, like the Crazy Frog and that.
Yeah,
TV
you used to have to
adverts.
text and like pay £1 to get one.
Yeah,
that was mad.
God.
Man, that was crazy.
So what are you mainly focusing on at the moment? Are you mainly focusing on the placement side or kit side, or I know you're doing a mix of everything, but as far as priorities go, have you got something at the top of the list?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, it's a bit weird because I mean, shout out Jack for this, because I used to be fully like placement based sort of thing, and it was good. Like I got some decent songs and stuff. It was a nice thing to do, but like to make a living off of it was a bit like, you know. And I want to kind of engage with people a lot more, like have more of a audience sort of thing, like a community as it. So I was like, okay, I'll push the videos a bit more to kind of gain that sort of community, because I think it's just nice to have, really. And then it got to a point where I'm not sending loops out every other day now, because you know, videos and kits and stuff start to get in the way. But I still do try to, because it's annoying, because like sometimes it'd be like some fairly known industry producer would reach out to me to ask to like send stuff, whatever, or like certain exclusive stuff, but I'm just so heavy working on something to the point where I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can do it. But like sometimes when it gets to that point where it's like, you know, the last minute, oh bro, I'm in the studio right now, can you send this? Then you kind of sometimes have to prioritize, because it won't take too long, sort of thing. So like sometimes I'm like, okay, real quick, I'll do that, and I'll come back to this. And then it can kind of get a bit messy like that. But really, if you kind of plan it out, then it's not too bad. Like for example, when I do videos, I didn't have samples from there anyway, which I can then send out. So it's like a bit of a 2-in-1 there. But it's not really too bad. Like the reels they don't really take either too long to record, or when I chop it up, it's not really too time consuming. It'd be like maybe an hour, 2 hours most, sort of thing. So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So when you really have like the sort of time management side sorted, I feel like it's, you know, you can balance it, sort of thing. Well, I figured out.
So how did you get started with the placement game, and then when was it when you got your first major placement start to come through?
Well, the whole placement thing is like, I mean, the first thing I'd say for that is just like to put your stuff out, because that's how I got started with it. I was actually on the same channel I put my videos on now. Like, if you look so far back, I started on type beats, like probably most people did, and then, you know, it flopped because it's type beats and it's a bit like, you know, the algorithm and stuff. But then every now and then I'd then put out kits, like loop kits, like in between those type beats, and the loop kits like got so many more views than the type beats. Bear in mind, it wasn't too many, it's like a few thousand compared to like a few hundred, sort of thing. It's that sort of scale. So it's like, you know, I'll keep on pushing that. And then you know, I was like, I just binned off the beats, and I just straight put up loop kits like I think it got to like every week at one point, every 2 weeks. And like it'd be like 15-20 loops, so really it's not really too bad. But obviously getting it all out and stuff, you know, it was a little bit of a hustle. But I started doing that, and I started to gain like a lot more views through that. And then I got like some placements off of that, because obviously you go into the kit, it's free, but then it's like the whole, you know, you got to split royalties, whatever. So the funny thing about that is though, because obviously it's just through the internet, so anyone can access it. So then you randomly just get a message saying, oh, we've got one with whoever, by some random producer you don't even know, and because they've literally just found you online, sort of thing. And that's how I got my first like proper connection with like obviously Southside, and that was just through Loop Kit, because they just found because there was in a session, him, TM88 and Ken Carson or whatever, and they found one of my loop kits as a Southside loop kit and had like 20k views, so I think it was like #1 for it, sort of thing. And they literally just grabbed that, and then I saw it, and so I literally as soon as I saw it, I literally just posted on my Instagram just like a snippet of it, because I was so gassed, because I was like, this is crazy. And then because I did that, I didn't even think, but then he then reached out to me because he saw the post, and he was like, send me more stuff, send me his number, like that. So like even just like posting that, like if I didn't post that, would I be connected to him? Like sometimes it's weird to think like that, but honestly how it started was literally just putting kits out, and then, you know, after the Southside thing, it really helped my brand. Like a lot of people reach out to me from that, and like even times now when like you know, on the, do you guys know the Freak YouTube channel? Like he does the like all the little lives, like the producer lives.
Is that like the replays cut up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like every now and then, whenever I get stuff of them, I put up my story or something like that, and then the people that reach out to me from that is like a bit crazy, and like because whenever those videos come out, whenever I get like loops on there, I'll comment saying I got the loops, and then some like other industry producers might reach out like that, and it kind of stumbles upon each other like that. So it's really nice to kind of make use of an achievement, you know, instead of just saying like, or just thinking to yourself like, oh, that's pretty cool. Instead of that, why don't you just like post a story about it, or just literally something like that, and then that like it's kind of toppled over each other from that, just from one thing I post about that, and then someone else would reach out, sort of thing. And, it kind of.
So did Southside find your loops from your from the YouTube video, or did someone send them to him?
That's the thing. I still don't know, because on the actual live stream, it sounds like Ken Carson brought the loops in, but then in your head you think like, you know, did he? But like he was saying the live that he did. So, from my theory at least, it's been that he brought them in and them lot cooked it up on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, got
something like that.
It's cool to think that Southside could be out there just searching for like free trap loops, and then he just stumbles across your channel and downloads them. I guess you never know who's actually viewing those videos and downloading those kits, do you?
Yeah, that's it. You never know what the vibe is in the studio. Like we've all been in studio sessions where you're not too sure what you want to make, so you just pull in a loop, or like you look for a certain type of loop. So yeah, I mean it's going to happen with them at some point because they're in sessions all the time. So yeah,
of course,
it's definitely a cool way to get discovered. It's like didn't ASAP Rocky, was it ASAP Rocky or Tyler the Creator or something? They like, or was it? Or maybe it was the Panda song. I can't remember, but someone got like a massive placement off of them searching for a type beat under their own name. I can't remember who it was.
For him,
I think it's happened a few times, you know.
Yeah, it was it might have been the Panda
song. J.
song.
Cole did it as well.
Yeah,
Panda, because that guy was based near Manchester, wasn't he?
Yeah,
and I can't remember the full story with that, but I don't think the producer got much for it. He might have sold the exclusive like for cheap a while back or something like that.
But I think in the end he got more on like the publishing and that kind of stuff.
Did he? Yeah, I don't know how he arranged stuff on the business side of it.
Yeah,
because that was like the first time when people were talking about how could you sell a beat online. That's like when there was like a big conversation between industry and like BeatStars producers. How are you going to sell a beat for 30? But then the misunderstanding was that you're always going to get the back end in terms of like royalties and publishing and that kind of stuff.
How's that work for you, Ellis, in terms of the back end? Like if someone's used your loop, like Southside, for example, I'm guessing they hit you up and sort out a producer agreement. But like from your experience, how's it happened?
You see, that was one thing about the industry that low-key, like, I found low-key, like, annoying, because a lot of the time whenever, like, a song drops, you kind of have to sort everything out after, because, like, or at least from my experience, a lot of, like, loop makers' experiences, like, we're kind of down there on the whole level of, you know, the whole industry sort of thing, because obviously the main producers, a lot of people look down on them, even though they rely on loops, so, you know, a bit of a weird one there, but, so like a lot of the time I've had in the past, like songs would drop and then I wouldn't have known about it, so then I'd hit up the producer and they'd be like, oh yeah, we got this, and then we start the paperwork so much like further on after, and it can get so messy. And also you need like lawyers and you go back and forth so much, and it's like, it's such a process, which low-key did put me off. That's kind of why I wanted to push the videos a lot more, because like it just literally felt like I was begging to get paid for something which I already worked on, which doesn't really make sense.
Man.
But like sometimes it's not even the producer's fault. Like when I got my Enely Chopper song, I was actually in college at the time. I was in a music college, and some people apparently the album got leaked in like Russia or something like that, and then some people heard my loop and they were like, oh, this is your loop, what sort of thing. I actually heard it in college, but then later on that day I FaceTimed Southside and I was like, you know, do you know about the song, whatever? And then he said he didn't even know, sort of thing. He was like, oh bro, get a lawyer for this, whatever, because he didn't know about it either. So sometimes it's not even the producer's fault. Sometimes maybe they just didn't get told, but it just seems like it could be a lot more like simple to sort out, sort of thing, than it is. But you know,
I guess sometimes where a good lawyer comes into play, but they only know about it when you know about it, in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like, if people aren't telling you from the start that they're using your loops, then there's only so much you can do. But then on the flip side, it's like, if the song's already out, then you do have an advantage in the sense of you have more bargaining power then, because let's say you wanted a bit of a higher percentage and they weren't willing to pay it. The song's already out then, so then you'd have the right to take the song down if it really came to that. Obviously, that's like the worst case scenario, like wanted to take a song down. But what I'm saying is you essentially have more leverage, don't you, when the song's already out, because they've used your loop. They don't want to get that song taken down, especially if they've filmed a music video and everything and it's doing numbers. So it's kind of confusing when people don't actually sort it out first, because it could easily backfire on them. If you were a dick, for example, and you were like, nah, I want this percentage now, like, or I'm taking the song down, you could really do that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because obviously, like, with contracts, a lot of the time from my experience anyway, is like, you know, they'll kind of rush you into signing the contract. Like, they would properly rush you, and by the time you sign it, it's like they're not reciprocating the energy. Like, they take so long to pay out then after that sort of thing. But like, from people I've spoken to, like, I was talking to Daniel from producer Roy not too long ago, and he was saying, like, what he's done in the past is when they kind of slack like that after, it sounds bad, but like, you could literally take down the song, because then they'll be like, oh, they've done something, we need to pay them, and then, you know, they sort out, and then like a few days after, the song goes back up. So it's not always as bad as it sounds, like taking down the song, oh, you ruin all the connections. It could literally just be temporary, just to say pay me sort of thing, or they will get taken down. Like, it's kind of like an industry threat in a way.
I guess it lights some fire underneath them to finally get moving, right?
Definitely, because they know they need to do it, but it's like people just want to wait and see. Like, they try their luck, thinking, nah, it's not going to do it. Because I bet
it's a shame though, because
don't
you'd have
actually
thought, like,
go ahead and do that.
Yeah, it's a shame, because you'd have thought at that level they wouldn't be doing that. You like, because they're signed artists, they're in labels. You'd have thought it's all like taken care of legitly, but it's a shame that it just isn't. It just isn't like that. I guess maybe at like top level, if you get in placements with like Drake and, you know, just like huge artists like J. Cole, then maybe you'd have thought at that level, like, they'd make sure they've got themselves covered, because that's like big, you know, that's big numbers at that point, like huge numbers, sorry. But it's just crazy that it just isn't taken care of, you know, even at a high level.
It might be a numbers game to them, because they might think, well, let's say we put 20 tracks out, don't pay any of them, only like 2 of those 20 producers are going to go ahead and get the song taken down and hire lawyers and everything. So it's like, all right, we might have to pay for 2 of them, but then we've got these other 18 for free. I wonder if that's the mindset they have.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of differs between labels. Like, some of them are kind of like easy, some of them just are a bit behind. So I can't say it's like that for everyone. It's just from a certain few, which I won't name, but it's been a bit of a weird process. Like for example, one of them, we're still trying to get paid, and it's been a while now, because their main excuse was the artist is in prison, they can't sign it. But for the most part, the label can sign on the artist's behalf. So it's like, it's just kind of them just trying to delay the payment again. It's like, I don't really think, you know, that's a valid excuse, but that's kind of the thing we're fighting right now anyway. But
man,
you know,
what's like the worst? What's the worst thing that's happened so far when it's come to like chasing up people for payment, or just anything really, just anything business related when it comes to placements?
And I think there has been some weird ones. Like there was one time I was actually on a holiday in Spain, right? And then this all happened when I was on holiday, so like, it wasn't really that helpful. Luckily, I had a team around me to kind of help me out. But they were kind of saying, they were like, okay, we've got this song. You guys have like, I think it's like 2 or 3 days to sign it. Bear in mind, we needed a lawyer to look over it. And I don't even have my laptop because I'm in Spain. So I was kind of relying on DocuSign sort of thing. So I was like, okay, sure, if we can get it looked over. But like, there wasn't enough time to kind of negotiate or anything. So it was so like just that 3 days to like properly look over the contract and negotiate a price and royalties and all that obviously isn't enough. So the song ended up not being able to drop and then ruin the connection or whatever. But to be honest, if you're doing bad business,
so they actually
like that,
didn't drop the song.
Nah, because it was
That's
like
crazy.
It was generally like a 3-day gap is what they gave us. So then, but I wasn't even too mad, because if the business is going to be like that, then I don't know.
That's a bit shady, don't you think? Like pressuring you to just do it so quickly, because then you could have just signed yourself to anything.
But the thing is, like, maybe they've done it on other producers, and like, if you don't have a team around you, sort of thing, or lawyers, or whatever, then like the average or loop maker, whatever, might just be like, okay, 3 days, just sign it. It might just have to be really bad like terms, sort of thing. But I don't know. It can be can be a bit evil sometimes. So,
It can be very cutthroat. So would you say after getting like your first few placements, life kind of changed for you? Like things started moving in the right direction?
Yeah, it kind of gave me a nice direction for my career. Like just kind of really gave me that vision, just knowing that I could keep on doing this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like, what about money-wise?
Money-wise, obviously, you know what I'm saying, placements. The money's a bit delayed sort of thing. But honestly, nowadays, even with placements, like, I do get paid in the end. But, like, I don't even see the money side as soon as I get the song. Like when I got my Little Sky song, it was only on YouTube. So, obviously, you don't get the full contract or whatever. But, like, as soon as I got it, obviously, I sent it to my management to say about it or whatever. And then the first thing they said about was with the whole money side. And I thought to myself, I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. I was just gassed I got a song.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it's so much more important to kind of just like build a big portfolio, because then when you reach out to other people, then you've got stuff behind you to kind of, back you up sort of thing. That's the only thing I really see from placements. I don't even see the money side. Like, obviously I see it, but like, that's not the first thing I think of whenever I get the placements. So I think it is very good though for like establishing like building connections, because it sounds kind of harsh, but like from what I figured out was when I started and I'd reach out to people, because you just started, you don't have too much stuff on your page, whatever, they don't really like pay no attention. But then if they look at your page, because majority of people that open messages, they do look at the page first sort of thing. It's just like just something I've realized. And like when I then started getting these placements on my page and it looked a bit more cleaner, had all that stuff, people like were almost always reaching back. I'm like, what? Like back then it was like a 1 in 6 chance sort of thing, for example. And nowadays it should be like a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 chance. Like they almost always do reach back, because you've got that social presence, which is why I wanted to build a brand over just trying to push placements. Because when you do reach out, you're like, okay, this guy has some sort of following, he's got these snippets, he's got stuff going on, he's focused. So yeah, that's why I think building your brand is just so important for networking.
Yeah, I guess people instantly think that you're serious about your craft for a start, but then also people think, okay, what can I gain from this guy? And that's just natural. Like we all do it. It's like if you're going to connect with someone, it's like, all right, he's got an audience, I've got an audience, we can mutually benefit from each other here. Whereas if you just message someone and you didn't have any placements, you weren't really pushing anything on socials, then that person's just going to think, well, why am I going to work with this person? Like, I'm putting all this work in, this guy isn't, so this is only him getting something from me, not me getting something from him. That's just the reality, really, isn't it? We all do it.
But I feel like there's always that other side, which is like, because I remember there was this guy, I don't think he had much of a following at all, but he made websites because he was going to like uni and stuff for like that sort of course. And I remember talking to him, and then I was like, why don't you try to reach out to these producers like a little bit bigger than you, but then offer like something crazy like a free website. And I know that might be expensive, like to like, or not expensive, but time consuming. But then if you've literally made them a whole website, I think they're gonna like in the back of their mind want to like pay you back in some sort of way. It might not be money, but like you just have that connection. Like it might obviously like logically seem very unfair, but that's kind of what you have to do to kind of connect to these people. So I feel like instead of just reaching out to people and saying, oh, can I send loops, whatever, there are so many more ways now. Like I recently did, or I had a phase of doing like having loads of people on the channel, these industry producers sort of thing. And like it was cool because we get a video out and I make a reel of it as well, so they get some push, and we then have a connection. So even that's like a different way. I feel like there's so many more different ways instead of just messaging saying, can I send stuff, to really reach out now that people kind of don't look over.
I think money talks definitely in those situations, because like there wasn't there like a rapper that paid, I think it's Kato, Kato on the track, I think someone paid him like, they gave him like an envelope with like $100 or maybe even more than that, like $500, and then like a USB with their music on it. And it's like it's sad, isn't it? But like it is the way to get through, to cut through not just money, but like I say, your website or something that is obviously
something of value.
Yeah, something that's actually valuable, not just like, oh, just let me send you loops. Like, what's your loop email? It has to be. You have to have that exchange, and people don't realize that they have a lot of stuff. Even if they don't have a lot of money, they've got extra stuff to value, like, and to provide for value. Like, you can give them like, I don't even know, like all your loops, or just something crazy, like you said, like a website. So yeah, it definitely does help to have something, to give back.
Yeah, 100%. So for the songs that you've put out, like with the big placements that you've got, what's been a typical percentage split on the publishing side versus the master recording side?
I mean, for the most part, it's not really too bad. Like, from my experience, most producers just, put it down the middle sort of thing. So, it's quite simple on that side. The master royalty should be like, it's the points, right? It's like three points.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So because like for example the Triple Red song I've got, that's like 1, 2, 3, technically 4 producers because it's with Q Beats. So
right,
the obviously the master royalty, like the points on that wasn't really that high,
like
but
a point each or something.
Yeah. So it's just been it's been alright on that side. To be fair, I haven't really had anything like bad. That's normally like for the majority of the time people are just like just bang it down the middle.
Yeah,
just keeps it simple, doesn't it?
But then on that side, like obviously with publishing, you collect money from like PRS. Obviously, if you have a publisher as well, or places like Songtrust. But then on the master side, because if it's with an independent artist, you can do things like the DistroKid splits. But then how does it work with an artist that's with a label? Like, do the label just pay you every so often?
If you know what I mean? Is it through Sound Exchange or it's something like that? I think I'm trying to think myself.
They usually do like the publishing side. But then, like with the points that you get on the song, obviously that's the money that's generated on the master side. So usually that's paid out a different way. But even for the placements that I've had, I'm still waiting to get paid my master side, even though we've done the contracts and everything. So it's something that I keep chasing up. But it's
in
like
the same position.
Yeah, I didn't know if like each label had like a different portal that you'd sign up to, and then they sort out the percentages on there. Because when it's with an independent artist, you can just do. Like on DistroKid, you can just arrange the splits there. Like, say if you've got 3 points or whatever, they'll just add you as like 3% on DistroKid. Or if it's like 15 points, like 15%, like whatever it is. But then it just gets a bit trickier with the label.
Yeah, it can be weird labels. Because I think one time we did have something like that, and they had their own portal for it, as you were saying. That was the only time I can actually remember, to be fair. So that's still something I'm trying to run up as well. But it's just annoying because the whole business side really just does make it seem so overwhelming compared to like just making music,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I bet having a manager helps you, right?
Have you ever considered signing a deal, like a publishing deal or something like that?
I think I've been open to it, but not like it's like if I'm in a rush sort of thing. Like I'm not really in a rush for it, It can be cool because obviously that's a good thing about having places, isn't it? Like it's good for like when you get registered and stuff, labels into it and they'll present you a deal sort of thing, and it can be cool because obviously it's like a lot of it's like recoupable, isn't it? Like you get given so much, you recoup it and you get out a deal sort of thing. So it could be cool to kind of go down that route, but I haven't really explored it, to be honest. I haven't really been too much like into it, and like I kind of feel like if you're kind of stable money wise, it can be worth waiting to get a bigger deal sort of thing. It kind of depends what your situation is, or if you get given like a 25k deal sort of thing, like something low, and you feel like you can recoup that quite quickly, then that's also a nice way to go. But to be honest, I haven't really thought much of it that side, really.
Do you feel
like most people have said when it comes to publishing deals, it's like the bigger your catalog is, the more leverage you're going to have anyway. So if you're in a comfortable financial situation, then like you said, you might be better off waiting another 5 years or so until you might have a huge catalog at that point, and then the offers that come to you are going to be much bigger. So I guess it's all about leverage.
Do you think like the making content side of it will help as well? Like let's say 5 years down the line, you consistently make content, your channel's kind of blowing up at this point, you're hitting like a few 100,000, maybe even close to 1 mil, and you're still getting regular placements, and then like a pub deal comes. Do you think like having like the clout in terms of like your own socials? Do you think that'll help as well, or what do you think?
I haven't considered it. I haven't thought that actually. It's quite weird because obviously compared to what used to be like 20, 30 years ago, it's like completely different now. Because I was talking about this with someone the other day actually. It's like how it's not as important to get signed to a label now, because like independent artists, they can just push their music out through like socials. Like there's so many people that blow up on TikTok nowadays, and it's like where did the label go from there? It's just like you just put catch a song on TikTok, it's called the algorithm, sort of thing like that. So like sometimes even that is all you need to push stuff. So I think with the whole use of social media and stuff, it might be a bit daunting for labels, because some people might not be as, urgent to sign, sort of thing. But I think it could be cool, low key. I haven't really thought outside. I wonder if they consider it when they sign you. But I thought that.
Yeah, we were talking about this, weren't we? How much would you want to? How much would you? Let's say a label comes to you and they offer you like a crazy bag. Like how? But in exchange for that, they want all your socials as well. Like they want all the money made off your socials. How big of a bag would you need to do that? Or like if they were like, we pay you this much, but we don't want you posted on social media. Like we want control over it. How much would you?
Oh, that's a
how much
weird
would
one.
it take?
I don't know, bro. That's a bit of an on-the-spot question, right?
Yeah, we spoke about it, didn't we? It was like trying to figure out how much it would need for it to be worthwhile, basically. And it is kind of hard to figure out because
that'd be weird, because it's like, what do you do? like so much of my life is based around obviously making content, and if they just say like, we give you this much, and like it'd be cool to have the money, but it's just like, what now?
Yeah, what do we do?
I don't know.
Maybe if we rephrase it right and say like, obviously you can still post on your socials and everything, you still do what you're doing, but they're just collecting the money from your channel, so they're collecting the ad revenue and the sales that you make through your kits, for example. But they're just going to give you a hefty bag up front, and you can still do the industry stuff with them as well.
I have actually seen some deals like management deals where they've said they'll collect all of your income. Like no, not all of it, but they take a percentage of all of your income, not just your music income.
Oh, like a 360 deal.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff as well. Yeah, it's crazy.
And from that, straight up from that, I'm like, that's already a red flag in itself. It's like, like, do they actually want your like craft, or do they just want your money? Like, have they just seen you've got clout and they're like, we want a bit of that? So honestly, I think it would have to be some sort of big bag, because like you never know how it's gonna turn out, especially with the algorithm and stuff. Like, what if you all of a sudden start to blow up, and then they're just taking all of your income? It's like,
yeah, man. I think that depends as well. Like, if the manager's really invested in you, like say he got you a studio in LA, he provided you with all the synths, and then you made sample packs, then maybe I get his point why they might want like 20% of your income or whatever. But
or if you can negotiate a better deal for brand sponsorships,
if they're providing nothing and you're doing all
the
the social media and everything like that, then it's a bit tough.
Yeah, it's if they had like something like really like that would actually help me in what I do already, then I might consider it, but it'd have to be quite like something that I can just do myself.
Have to be worthwhile.
For sure.
So the plaques that are sitting behind you, are they both number ones? I can see the one on the right says number one, but
there's one here as well. No, this one was number 5, if I'm right. I can't point it. There it is. That's the only one.
MF Doom placement above that.
Oh no! It was just the vinyl.
Oh, okay.
That'd be crazy.
I was gonna say.
No. Obviously the NLE one was my first one, so I was just gassed. I was like, I want a plaque.
Yeah.
So like,
of course,
like it'd be nice just to have straight number 1 ones. That'd be crazy, because it is actually really hard to get on Billboard. So with that being said, I'll be fine to have any sort of Billboard plaque, because I even see people with like Billboard number 80 and stuff, and like some people might think it's bad, but like it is actually
Billboard
pretty hard to get onto Billboard.
let
alone number 8. So like it's also nice, like, you know, my bed's right there. I can literally just wake up and it's just like, it just shows I'm doing something right to keep on going, sort of thing. So I think it's quite nice to have little like accolades like that and like,
yeah,
you know,
definitely,
plaques and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you don't mind sharing the figures, like let's say for your biggest placement, or what's the most you've made from a placement in terms of like the advance and then the back end as well, like the splits, publishing and master.
Well, obviously when you're a loop maker, it's like everything's a bit cut down a little, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's been a bit. But I'm trying to think because normally it's not really that much. Because first speak on figures on the Trip Red song right there, that's obviously between 4 people and Q Beats counts as 2 people, so they take equal splits as well.
Right.
So I had that one was actually 5k because it was 20k altogether.
Okay.
My maths was right, yeah. And it's just literally a quarter of that. So like sometimes you can be like numb down to that. Like I think the Enly one was like 7.5, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I gotta be honest, this is way more than I thought it was.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, well that's like bear in mind these are like my biggest songs. Like then it's not always that. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And is that just the advance?
Yeah, that's the advance, yeah.
Right.
But like yeah, I feel like if you have someone to negotiate for you, is like a lawyer or something like that, it's really good to push it because they want the original prices, you know. They've been pushed because what I've seen a lot of time out labels is they try to lowball you a lot. So like what kind of our strategy has been with my team is like I had one time I think this I got the song and they were like I think they said like 500 for an advance and it was a fairly major song. I'm like, what? So obviously I spoke to my management and stuff, and we ended up saying like, okay, we'll put 2,500 down, and then obviously it's so much more. So then they'll think, maybe a little bit less, but because you put 2,500 down, they said 2,000, so that then went from 500 to 2,000.
Yeah,
which is like, okay, so you had that in your budget in the first place. It's 2,000, so it's always nice to like go above what you expect them to say, because then they'll go down to a decent number, maybe the number you wanted. So, and that's what we've done with both of them.
People are always scared to say a high figure because they think it's gonna turn them off and they're just not gonna release the song. You know, like they're just scared to say that high figure. But the reality is, it's just they're gonna negotiate at the end of the day. They're not just gonna cancel the song because you asked for something higher. The worst they're gonna say is no, and then maybe make a counter offer.
Yeah, exactly. It's my first thought. They've just then negotiated the price. They haven't just said no.
Yeah,
you know? It was always good for that sort of thing.
I appreciate you sharing that as well, because that's going to be so useful. I don't think many people really share their numbers in terms of like the industry side of stuff. So when you told me like these numbers, to me already, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how much it could be, or how much like, let's say if I get a placement now, how much I could negotiate. Because in my mind before, I was thinking, honestly, like a lot lower, way lower.
Well, obviously, as I said, that's like pretty major ones. Like, a lot of time I've had a lot of deals where it's been like 2,000, 2,500 sort of thing, which is
for sure. I'm sure nice. It changes depending on like how big the artist is as well and stuff like that. If you get a Drake placement, you're probably going to get considerably quite a bit more.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then do you know how much that made on the publishing side?
Well, it's
or has it not been out long enough?
Well, because we're still trying to run up so many of these publishing things, because the amount of producers that don't collect the publishing side, which then means that like when we're collecting, we have to kind of near enough register like for them as well, because if not, like down the line they might, or like down the line another producer might be involved and we didn't know about that, and then they then have some sort of whatever court situation sort of thing. So like it's a bit of a weird one, so we're still trying to get through that and just try and find every producer that's been on most songs, because there's so many songs I've been on and the producers haven't done the publishing side, so it's like, well, how am I going to push forward with it sort of thing. So a lot of it is still in the works, unfortunately, but I'm still waiting for that bag, you know.
I think this is what like we always speak about this, but when we talk about, or even when we speak to people that are more just in the industry and like relying on placements only and not doing like the YouTube side or the sample pack side, it just seems so uncertain and seems like you're waiting forever to collect your money, like 6 months to collect some publishing or money from the label or whatever it might be. I don't know. I just like when people ask me why I don't chase placements a lot more than I do. Like, because with YouTube, it's like, you know, when you're getting paid, like you decide when to drop a kit. Like, it's just so much more in your control. But then also on, like, if you're getting like hella placements constantly, then of course there's a lot of money involved in that as well. But I think the uncertainty, all like kind of put me off spending a lot of time in that area. I'm guessing that's probably why you're spending a lot of time like making kits as well, right? Because the stuff that's happened in the past, or just the uncertainty of not knowing when you're going to get paid.
Yeah, well, I think also as well, it was weird. It seemed too like simple. Like before I was pushing YouTube, it was literally like I'll make a few loops, send them out, and just then what? Like then I'm just like, because I can only make a certain amount of loops, then I'm just a bit burnt out, sort of thing. So
Yeah,
I just do that, send them out, and then what? And then every now and then I get a placement. It would be that. It'd be quite simple, and then. But the thing is, obviously, like I even know loop makers that are, like got all these crazy songs, but they still have a job, and it's like that seems quite daunting to me because like the payment stuff is very obviously, as you said, YouTube is a lot more consistent sort of thing. Like you can't know when you're getting paid, but then so it kind of made me think, okay, I've got all this extra time in the day. Why don't I just branch out and do some other stuff as well? So that's when I started to do the content too. And I felt like there was a really good balance because if you can get paid from both as well, obviously that's a good payday. But you know,
and there's definitely a lot of people that do both as well. Like we had Kavi on recently, who kills it doing both. So there's definitely potential for both. And I guess they go hand in hand some ways as well. Because if you're getting like crazy placements, then you can use that to your advantage. Because then I guess people take you more serious on YouTube as well. Because you've got the proof to back up what you're saying. Like if you're teaching someone how to make a beat for a certain type of artist, and you've actually produced for that artist, then people are going to think you know what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I started to push because I remember I was talking to Project X, who's part of A-Rate Mafia, you know, Southside's lot, and he was saying he was like, it's really smart that I'm pushing the whole Southside thing that I'm connected with him because like okay, you can be connected, you can get like snippets, whatever, but like you can also push that even more and then use that to your advantage, like, you know, as part of your brand sort of thing. Like you can do videos just like how to make whatever sort of like Southside sort of loops from someone that's worked with Southside, you know, like because then it's kind of got that staple then because you've got the experience. So so like even so, like in the future I'm still planning, like if I get certain placements and stuff, to kind of branch out from that and like not only just post it but also, you know, do like videos based around it and stuff like that. It's a really nice thing to do.
If you could only do one side for the rest of your life, if you could only do YouTube and release kits versus only get placements, which one would you pick?
Oh, YouTube, 100%.
Really? That's interesting. Why is that?
I mean, if it's going to be like a job for me, like longevity wise, I think YouTube is on top, you know, because obviously with placements and stuff, there's only I mean, if I'm still doing what I'm doing now, where I just kind of send it out, it's a bit like a gamble. So it's like, okay, it's going to be a gamble to pay my next month's rent, you know? Like, it gets to that point, like, obviously you couldn't get the publishing side, but like, I just think YouTube, you've got like a lot more creative control, you know? Compared to just sending an email out and hoping you get some crazy placements. Like that in itself, just saying that just sounds like, you know, not very reliable sort of thing.
Of course.
So,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you thought about developing an artist?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. The artist in my city is who I'm working with. I was actually with him last night. I see him like every few days sort of thing, and we work in music as well. So like for example, yesterday we were just finishing up a kit, me and Jack, which we just dropped, and like I was literally going to a session right after. So like I ended up going to his about 7ish or something like that, just to sort of work on music. And we've got a little thing right now, is because he used to be in like a proper sort of pop group called Now United in like the Philippines, all that sort of stuff. And so he's recently sort of left that and he's gone solo sort of thing. So from that, it was weird because I actually met him in church. It was so random because our parents knew each other. It was so weird. And then we realized we're from the the same thing. Like he's literally not far from me at all, like a 2-minute drive. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
So like I thought, okay, everyone always says online to grow with artists. It's like, why would I not do this? So he's all like on sort of Afro and R&B sort of vibes as well. So it's kind of nice to branch out and do that vibe. So like, you'd be surprised how many Afro beats I have on my laptop right now. Like so many, but I think it's so important because but I love making Afro beats, man. Afro beats is so fun to make, that sort of vibe. Yeah. But like but yeah, I think it's just so important to have someone to grow with as well. And it's not like you can't do your own thing and grow with someone. You know, you can do both. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, but it's just nice to be just with that person, growing with that person, and then when you both like when one person blows up, the other person blows up, sort of thing. Like you kind of go together. So that's kind 100%. Of our game plan anyway.
In a typical day, like how many beats do you think you cook up and how many loops?
It's a weird one. It kind of depends on the day, you know, because there's some days I'll be like straight editing and doing like all like kits and stuff like that, and I wouldn't even make like any loops or any beats or whatever. Yeah. There'll be some days where like, you know, I've you know, kit's almost there, I've done whatever, and then I'll make the loop sort of thing. Like I feel like priority wise it's a bit lower than, well, I mean it is lower than kits. Yeah. But I feel like if I manage to get like, you know, 2 or 3 a day, sort of thing, then I'm good. Not even that I do that. Some days I don't, but like if you just have a nice amount for when you do send out every few days, then I think it's fine. It's not that you have to do it all the time, as long as you have some sort of consistency there.
How many are you sending out at a time?
For example, what I would send, how I send it is like I have my monthly loops, my weekly loops sort of thing, and instead of sending out once a week, I send out like every few days. It used to be every other day, but now it's like every few days, 3 or 4 days sort of thing. Maybe like 4 or 5 loops sort of thing like that. So it's not even too bad. But because you're so consistently in their inbox, it's quite hard for them to ignore you, and it's quite bad because it feels quite spammy. But since every other producer's doing this, then if you send them one email like a week, then the chance of them seeing it is going to be a bit lower, which is quite unfortunate. I'd rather just do the 1 week thing, but not everyone likes to conform to that, you know. Like some producers send out like emails, like 2 emails a day sort of thing. I'm like, damn, do you guys go outside sort of thing? But you know,
but I guess if your loops are fire as well, like just, they hope to see like your loops, because I mean I know just from personal experience, when I'm using loops, I always want to see like 3 or 4 of the same, like 3 or 4 producers I always look out for. And if they're not sending loops, I'm like, oh man, I'll just not use a loop that day or something. So yeah, it definitely does help to just to be consistent with it.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to like it sounds really like, you know, obvious, but to send out good loops. Like if you've got a throwaway loop, I don't really like to send it out because, you know, like it'd be a bit annoying. It'd be like, oh, I've worked like an hour on that loop and I haven't done anything. But the thing I'm thinking is like, you know, because I send to some like fairly major producers, so like if they're in the studio and then they're like, oh yeah, let me quickly look at loops, and there's this like proper mid loop from me, and it's like, okay, you know, that's me gone, you know, that's the connection gone, you know, like if it was their first time opening it sort of thing. So
exactly,
if I ever like connect with a producer, like if they reach out to me, I just want to send like some like really good stuff, because then they're like, oh okay, he's like, so like I'd send literally like my best loops from like even the past 6 months. It doesn't have to be from the past week, as long as they're like the like, you know, my best ones, because then it's like if they've then heard it the first time, like, damn, okay, next session I'm going to use these loops again, sort of thing. So you know, it just sounds so obvious, but just to send really good loops, or like your best loops is that's it,
as
much as you can. It's just like, it's great.
Yeah, but I think maybe some people they kind of forget about like it's very basic, but that is the main thing, isn't it? Like it's the music. Like, it has to be a good product initially, and then all the other stuff comes second, like the consistency and everything. Because if it's no good, that first impression, you're done. They're not coming back to your name again. Like you're just another producer that sends loops that you don't, you know, your emails don't get opened.
Yeah, and also on the first impression as well, what I like to do is because it's your first impression, you know, you've got to be up, you know, to show that you're you know. So if like a major producer reaches out to me, sort of thing, I would reply as quick as I can, send it as quick as I can, send really good loops as quick as, like my best loops as quick as I can, because then like since you've sent it that quick, then maybe in the future they'll be in a session and they'll be like, oh, I'm
This
just going
guy's
to ask
quick.
this guy for loops. And then, yeah. And then they've literally prioritized you over all the potential other loop makers because you're quick and you can deliver, sort of thing. So,
and
it can be a bit
that you
tedious
send out, are these... My
Go
bad,
on.
I was just going to ask if the loops you send out, are they exclusive? Or are you just sending like the same loop packs to your list of producers that you usually work with?
It's a weird one because I have a bit of a mix. Like, if a producer asks for exclusive loops, then I might do that. But for the most part, they don't really care. Like, I mean, from obviously from my experience, I can't speak for everyone, but like, you know, I'd send to a list of like this many producers, but like obviously the producers are all on the same sort of vibe for the vibe I'm sending. I don't just send like pain loops to a person that makes fully like murder melody, like beats sort of thing. It doesn't really work.
Right.
So obviously it's still based around their lane, but I think if I send exclusive loops to like how many people on my list, I don't think I'll be able to get any sleep. So you know, it's like like it'd be very difficult to do that, but it's literally only a selected amount of producers that do want exclusive loops, and for the most part, even so, I had this one time where this producer, like I reached out to a producer and you know, to ask to send loops. He sent me his email, but then he also said, yeah, it's like $100 for a Clout, whatever. So I'm like, oh, great. So what I do, it was kind of a bit sketchy. Like I literally just sent to his email, and like he asked for exclusive loops. So I generally cooked up loops, and then he put the price tag on. So I was like, what the hell? So I sent him anyway. You know, I was like, why not? And then they, like, as I said, they're like, I worked really hard to make him very decent for a first appearance. So then, you know, I didn't reply to the $100 thing. I was like, you know what, I didn't read it or anything. I'll just let it simmer. You know, I'll just see if he opens it. And about a week after, he then messages me over that. Like, he doesn't delete the other message, just messages me over it saying, oh, we've got one with 42 duck. So I'm like, hold on. You know, like, you was charging me, now we've got a placement. So like, yeah, you know,
it's cheeky.
It's been weird like that. Like they'd ask for exclusives, but you know, for the most part, it's not really that deep.
Yeah. And I guess like
you
if
see
they come,
with the loops that you send out. Oh, I was just gonna ask. You see with the loops that you send out, do you send a particular style? Like, do you focus on like I send out only pain loops, or I send out only hard synth loops, or do you kind of just make whatever you want and then you send them out?
Well, I like to have some mixed vibes in my email. Like, I like to have a safe bet, which is obviously dark stuff, because that's kind of what I'm known for. And then sort of mix ones underneath that. So the first email will be like, maybe like a, you know, my sort of loop. And then on the subject, I'll put the artist or like the style. So then before they open it, they know like what sort of style it is. And I like to mix it up sometimes, because it's like, if you're only sending dark loops, then you're only in that lane, you know, like if you want to branch out, for the most part, producers that like make dark stuff, I'm kind of going against what I said earlier on about the pain stuff, but producers that make dark stuff, they might like every now and then they want to make this sort of vibe or this sort of vibe. So if they only got dark loops, then it's like they can't do that. So I like to kind of send a lot of mixed vibes, but keep it in my lane at the same time. So like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I might send a dark loop and then I might send a completely different loop, you know? But at least they've got one loop they can use if they want that dark sort of sound. And they've also got these other vibes they want to branch out sort of thing. So I think that's quite good because they have a bit of a mix.
Yeah. Do you do the same with beats too? Like, do you have a list of artists that you send beats to regularly? And are you just sending like the same beats to those artists, or are you ever doing exclusive ones?
Well, it's a bit weird with artists. It's not as like, it's not the same because I don't have like a whole list I send to sort of thing. With artists, it's a lot more like I like to build a connection before I even like, you know, send at all. I mean, it's the same with producers, but like, I mean, like, I would send artists like on their number sort of thing. I'll just go straight to their number because I think that's the best way to send, because everyone's got their phone with them, you know, they can just open it like that. So with artists, I'll just be talking to them, and it's like other artists I'm going with. Like, there's one in London called 424KP. I don't know if you guys heard about him.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
think I've met him in the studio actually.
Yeah, but yeah, he's crazy talented. It's like I can see he's gonna blow up because he's got the content side. He's doing so much content, and you know, he's properly getting himself out there. So I'm like, okay, sick. So I'm gonna lock in with him. So, you know, I'll message him. I'll be like, you know, what sort of vibes you on? And then like just generally getting that connection of just talking to them, and then sending beats is so good. I feel like, because to obviously have that direct connection with the artist is the best. So Whenever I send beats out, it'd be more or less not exclusive, but like exclusive packs. If I make a pack just for them, instead of just sending it to like 200 odd artists at once, I'd just be talking to them and be like, "Hey, what sort of vibes?" Like, for example, after I got the Ellis Lost song, it was really weird because my manager was in LA and he met his dad, and obviously they're so close, so I actually sent beats to his dad, which is really random. Like, saying it like that, but like that's what I do. So every now and then I'll like make a Dropbox sort of thing of beats exclusively for NLE, and I'd send it to his dad, which is a bit weird, but you know, that's the way to do it. But yeah, I like to do it like that, just to talk to them before, see what they're on, and then send beats like that, like kind of let it simmer a little bit.
Yeah.
Got you. So what would be your dream placement?
I get asked this a lot, but I just don't know. Like, I think ASAP Rocky would be crazy to get a song with.
That'd be a cool one.
I've always listened to him.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Get Rihanna obviously, on the hook too.
That'd be crazy. Imagine that. God.
That'd be mad.
Rihanna placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy, man.
Yeah, it'd probably be ASAP.
I was just gonna ask how you met Jack and built the synth palace together.
It's like looking back at it, I was talking to him about quite recently actually. Looking back at it, it's a bit of it's a bit weird how it all came together. It was like so if you guys know Jackson Remain, right? He went to LA ages before this all happened, and he met my manager. So my manager put me in the studio with Jackson, and then Jackson was like, "Oh yeah, we've got a session with Jack. Do you want to come down?" So that's how that came around. And then I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we did a video from that, and then I don't know if we did another video, and then we did the Win the Synth one. You know, the one where it's like whoever makes the best beat in the synth wins it.
Oh yeah,
and, yeah, that whole thing, and the synth's still there now. So that was quite good. And then after that, I was literally like, I think it was just sometime in the morning. I think I was making some breakfast. I was making like a fry up, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I reach out to Jack and just ask him what's like working on a kit sort of thing. It wasn't anything planned to like as big as St. Paris was. It was literally just like, you know, why don't we should work on a kit? Why not? And then my original thought was like, oh, let's obviously go for this sort of multi-kit stage. And then we're like, we both have synths. Why don't we just, you know, base around that? And then it kind of just toppled over like that. And then, you know, the first one did pretty well, so we pushed that, and now it's like a whole sort of brand. So it's quite nice how it kind of came together.
Yeah, they're really good kits.
Yeah,
it's different to your standard bundles as well. Like, there's not many people just focusing on that synth side of things and making a ton of accents and textures and everything like that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. The whole process of making those kits, so it's like the whole time when it comes to naming them is the longest part. I'm sure you guys can relate on that, because our process would be like, when we do phrases at least, because I actually, for the most recent one, I actually went to Jack's. I drove down to Jack's because he's got all the pedals and stuff, and we would have like some sort of like, because obviously it would be like sort of synthy, so we'd have some sort of Des Riley loop in the background, and then we would play over it, like do lines over it, like top lines, and then someone else would be on the pedal, mess around with it, and then we do like 10 minutes each, and then have so many recordings, and we'd have to literally chop up each one to just find parts that we think sounds cool, and then after that we then edit and stuff, and then we name it. It's like, it could be a long process, but I enjoy it. It's like kind of creating something, you know. So,
yeah, that sounds kind of fun.
I need to
in
test
terms
out
of making
pedals,
a
man.
kit.
I never got into pedals before.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jack introduced me to pedals really, like, because I remember I bought one before, and I didn't have all the other stuff like the power supply and all that stuff, so it just didn't work. So I was like, oh, this is rubbish, I'm returning it. It was simple as that. And then only recently after I was at Jack's, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna, this is crazy. I'm gonna get into this. So once you kind of get your head around it, it can be a bit like of a headache starting off, because getting all the inputs, outputs, and all the other things you have to buy with it. But I think it's pretty good for making kits, because you just have these sounds that you can't just put in MIDI sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
they're quite hard to recreate because obviously a lot of pedals have a sort of random sound to it. Like it changes over time. So like it's really nice just to get little snippets from that and then just add to them to make it usable, and then you just have some crazy phrases, you know. So I definitely recommend it if you guys have been looking into getting pedals.
Yeah.
All you need to get is like a power supply, like a little power supply box to plug the pedal in so it doesn't blow up. Pretty much like because it's very like you have to be very delicate with the voltage and stuff like that. So you got to get the right voltage power supply. Yeah. And then you just connect it to the interface, sort of thing like that, and it's just like once it's all sorted, it's just really good for kits at least. So I'm actually gonna calm now buying synth, and I'm just gonna buy more pedals. I feel like that's kind of the way forwards for kits. Anyway.
So do all the pedals run into one power bank, and then that power bank runs into the interface? Yeah. So I don't know if I can show you, but I've got one, and pretty much what it is. Actually, you know, no, I probably can't show you. It won't work. But it's like a power supply that has like all different voltage points, and like mine's like 9 volts and 500 mA. I don't know what that means, but you know, all that sort of stuff. And it has all these different sort of voltage points, and you just literally connect the pedal to the right amount of voltage. Like it will say obviously in the box the amount it needs, and you connect it to that, because obviously if you do too high, then it can burst and not work. So you got to be very careful. But for the most part, you can get these like daisy chains, so it connects to each other, and then only one of them connects to the actual power supply, if I'm right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite cool, but because obviously I've got a baby sister, and she would come in and she would like literally call this a spaceship because of the lights right now, the pedal, all of that sort of stuff. So it can look a little bit like proper geeky sometimes with all the wires and the pedals and stuff, but it's really fun to use. So
yeah,
definitely say.
I was gonna say it does sound like quite a fun process for making kits, because it's not just like sound design. You're actually almost jamming over samples, and then just doing whatever for like say like 10-15 minutes, and then you just got hundreds of sounds that you've already got ready to go. Obviously it takes a bit of fiddling in the back end, but like the actual process of making the sound sounds like, I don't know, it sounds fun. It sounds way more fun than the standard like making one shots and like drum sound, you know. So it sounds quite fun.
Yeah, it's okay, a little bit therapeutic. Like when we were at Jack's, we had like, you know, the proper mood lights on and that, some like vibey Desert sample on, and we were just playing on top. I'm telling you though, it's like it's actually so fun. Like just having the right mood, and then you just doing this for however long. I could do that all day, just recording that out, because it was just, I don't know what it was. It just felt so like right in a way. I don't know. It was like it's cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. It's like when we made our dance, our house track, our improvised house track in the studio.
Yeah, a little bit different to that.
Yeah, a little bit.
That was so jokes, that session.
Oh my god. It was a productive session, to be fair. Just the last like 2 hours, just carnage. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we literally just finished everything, so we're like, just
had some spare time.
Great. I love that.
Yeah, I think I told you, Jay. I don't know if I told you, Ocean. It was like, you know, when Jack had his sample flip challenge, the most recent one.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
I think I saw what do you call it? I saw like a reel or a post or a story or something like that.
Yeah.
He made this like crazy sounding beat.
It was just, there was this drum machine like in the back, and it had this house loop, like a proper old school like 90s house loop.
Oh, that's where it started, bro.
Yeah, and we just kept playing it. Man. Just kept playing it, and then all the synths were all plugged in at the same time, so you could just play everything all at once. So we had this. Jack was doing the house loop, and then Ellis was on the Moog, and then me and Link were on the other synth, just smashing keys. We just did it for like half an hour. It was ridiculous.
That was so funny. God.
Yeah, those jokes, man.
That's great.
Yeah, a little segue. Have any of you guys seen the new Bob Marley film?
No, it's not.
I've seen it advertised on a bus that drove past me. I didn't even know it was coming out.
Oh, really?
but I saw it on the side of a bus. I thought I need to watch that. I didn't know
Yeah,
like
same.
who directed it or anything, or if it was like a cheesy one or like a good like life story one. But have you seen it?
Yeah, I went to see it not last night, the night before, and mate, it's really good. It's definitely worth a watch.
Is it?
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, it's really it's kind of like it's just like that style of film, you know, like the films where they made one about Elton John. Was it Rocket Man? It's just that kind of genre, you know, like
So
just
is it kind of like more like a musical?
not really,
Or
not
more just like
really.
a biopic?
Like more like you know, Straight Out of Compton. Is that what it's called? Straight Out of Compton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that kind of film. Not like a proper musical, but they do like performances in it. But it's not like High School Musical.
Right.
Not that kind of musical. They sort of break out into song halfway through a conversation. But no, it's definitely worth.
Never get into
definitely
musicals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good
I can't
though,
wait
man.
to watch that.
It's really
Definitely
good.
gonna check it out when it
Had
when it
me
drops.
had me wanting to
check
make
it out.
reggae like straight after it.
Have you made any?
Yeah, I had this guitar player that I met in Leicester in a session in November. Had him come through yesterday, just to do just like a cook up video basically. And
Yeah.
second one we made, I was like, let's just try doing some reggae, and it actually turned out pretty good. To be fair, I was kind of happy with how it came out.
Sick.
Yeah, no, definitely recommend it when you guys get a chance.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't know about that. I need to check that out.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, what's the plans now?
Yeah,
Ellis?
Ellis, man, we
what
appreciate
have you got
you
in the
coming on.
pipelines?
I mean,
I think the
I'm
delay
trying
is
to think.
fucking us, isn't it? But go on. What were you gonna say, Liam?
Me?
Yeah, you asked something, but I think I cut in over you.
I was just gonna ask what's next for you, Ellis? Like, what have you got plans like for the year? Have you got anything like any set schedule in terms of kits and content and placements and all that kind of stuff? Like, yeah, what's the timeline looking like?
I kind of want to. I really want to work on reels more because I feel like there's a lot of potential on reels. Like, because obviously, short form content right now is like going crazy. So I want to stay on top of that for sure. So maybe even daily reels again, because I did that when my drum kit dropped. I did daily reels really helped push it like a lot, and a lot of them perform well. Like, and reels don't take long to make at all. So I really want to push that. Obviously, push the YouTube stuff, the place. Pretty much what I'm doing now. And me and Jack are in talks about going to LA as well sometime sooner on in the year.
Sick.
Because obviously
That's
that
sick.
in-person connection is just so much different than
Yeah.
online. So just to meet.
Have you got some people you'd link up with over there?
Yeah, I mean, last time when I went to LA, anyway, it was pretty good. Like I had everyday plans, sort of thing. Like I was doing stuff every day. I wasn't sleeping enough, so like made some good use of it, and I just met some like. I think the timing I went was crazy because I booked it like a year in advance. Generally, a year in advance. It's like one of those random things. Like, you know what, I'm going to LA next year.
Yeah.
You can tell because it's a year in advance. And then when I went, it happened to be like so many people there at the same time. So I just kind of want that same thing again. So we're thinking about going like August time because that's when obviously artists are done with the whole tours and stuff by then. Because they normally tour like June, July sort of thing. So kind of want to go that time, and then it's gonna be hot, man. So who would say no to LA? So we want to kind of go there then. Loki wanted to go in January because it was like Grammy week and there was like NARM on and all that, so everyone was down in January. But I just want to find that nice spot where everyone's there so you can just see everyone sort of thing. But that's for sure in the plans. But content wise, really want to push the reels a lot more because I've seen can't remember the exact producer, but he would literally do like probably about 30 seconds max, and they would blow up because the average watch time is higher because it's crazy editing. It's literally 30 seconds, so majority of the watch time is up there, and I just see like the views are just crazy on it. So I'm just thinking like instead of having a minute max, maybe like even 30 seconds max, and try and somehow fit a beat in there. And I recently did that, and it's doing fairly well for me. So might even just try and do something like that. Just try and make it like right
Super
there.
quick. I think I might have seen that kid. Is it
But
like
yeah,
quite a young,
specifically
quite a young
for
guy?
reels.
Yeah, he never talks. He's just kind of like he's just like this.
He just bops
And
his
then-
head.
I think he was telling us about him last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like it's like literally
he's
every
crazy.
bar the next sound comes in. Is it quite like happy beats, like jumpy kind of beats?
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah. We were thinking about the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I
think
can't
I've
stop
seen
watching
these.
his stuff as well. He's really good.
But yeah, he's
What's he
killing it
called?
because
Let me. I saved one of his reels. Let me find it. Because there's another guy.
Jacob V1, no? Something like this.
Yeah, and
He was telling us last week.
there's him, and then there's like another guy who does it. Who's called, I think he's called Tufty. He's got like a goatee. Let me find him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's two guys that I've
The
seen.
biggest
do it.
guy I've seen is Shonsi, but he's got like 3
yeah.
million on
Oh,
TikTok
yeah.
now. He's
Man,
killing
he
it.
oh
is
yeah, he's crazy. Yeah.
fully blown.
Brazilian funk, yeah.
Yeah, Jacob V1 is one guy, and then there's another guy called Tufty. I think he's called Tufty. Let me see. Tumphy, sorry. Tumfy.
Tumphy.
Yeah. And it's very like,
check
even
out the
the
stuff.
animation of the screen recordings, like strange in it. It's like kind of smoothly like zooms in, and then it follows the keys as they're clicking them in, and then it pans out, and it's like it is just like retention. It's like a retention like peak for music production, I'd say, at the minute anyway.
Yeah.
But it low-key scares you to think like, what, in like a year or so we're gonna have like 10-minute, like 10-second reels, like 10-second cook-ups.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? How far can it go in terms of short form? 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I do still think that long form stuff has a place as well, because the short form stuff is obviously good for like when you're just scrolling, but there's still a lot of people that are out there going on YouTube to watch long form stuff. I guess when you go to YouTube, you kind of know what you're going for. You're willing to spend a bit more time. But I think even though the attention span's getting shorter, I don't always think that means the long form stuff needs to get crazy short as well. I think it's good to have both.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
actually
wrong,
feel
but
like
I
on
do
YouTube,
think like that.
I feel like on YouTube it's actually swinging the other way, where longer videos are actually doing really well compared to like 4 or 5 minute videos.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we spoke about this a few times, and it does seem like, because YouTube's just become like the new TV, like the new generation. They're not just going and watching channels 1 to 5. Like, who even turns on those channels now? Like everything, like if you're gonna watch something, it's either Netflix or you go to YouTube and watch something like, I don't know, whatever creators you like to watch. But I do it myself, man. As soon as I go upstairs, I don't really put on like channels. I just go on like YouTube and I'll just watch like a long video on there. And if you're flicking through stuff, if you're watching on your TV, for example, you don't want to pick something short, because then you've got to find another thing to watch. It's like I'd rather pick something a bit long, because now I can just sit back and chill.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of your content, Ellis, what kind of stuff are you for your YouTube content? I know obviously you're doing short form, but are you trying to do long form as well for YouTube, or are you just trying to focus on the short form at the moment?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a weird one, because I'm trying to figure out like what route to go down for YouTube, because I had a stage ages ago where I had the whole daily uploads. Like, I know you're doing the same, to be fair. The daily uploads is crazy. But like I think it's 8 or so months ago, it's like quite a while back, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a daily, sort of thing. And I was talking to Infinite about this the other day as well, is that the YouTube search term can be a bit crazy, because like after a while they've just blown up like out of nowhere, because obviously they've ranked for search, and like it's weird because I used to think like search is like ranking for search is like type beats and stuff. It's not really what you do for videos, but I used to do that, and I used to have like loads of tags and stuff, obviously like the right tags, but I'd actually properly tag it, and then after a while it would still keep on going. It wouldn't like plateau, it would just keep on going up. So recently I've been trying to just literally do the dailies again, try and hit that point. But it's a bit weird, because obviously daily uploads, I'm sure you've probably realized the same thing, LB, is like the views are kind of like, it's a bit skeptical sometimes, but then it's like over time they go up.
I've noticed that.
It could be a bit hard mentally, because obviously it's obviously going to go down because every day sort of thing. But that's what I'm doing. But I'm also thinking like it's either that or I do the exact opposite and I do like fully edited, like high quality videos, but post less consistently. Like I'm a weird sort of, I don't know which one to push. So I was actually gonna while I'm on here, I was gonna see what you guys thought about that. Like what would be the best way to do? What like either because I saw Carvy's just put the video out about the 21 Savage album. And it's got like 100 and something K views.
That's gone crazy.
That is crazy. But like, so it's low-key got me thinking like, would it be a better route to go down having very highly edited videos but posting less consistently versus, you know, very consistent but not as much editing? Like, I don't know what you guys thought about that. Like, what would be a good
I think it's really down to like your workflow. What kind of content do you prefer to make, and then whatever one you do, can you do that consistently? Like if you prefer doing just one video a week, but you put way more effort into it, do you think you could do that for like a year or two? And do you actually like it, or do you prefer just like, just switch on my camera, just film, put that out for the day, kind of easy?
Yeah,
because I honestly think that both work.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because it would be nice to literally just, you know, cook up whatever, put on YouTube, it bangs, but it's just not. Obviously, it's not that easy. So the next thing in my head is thinking like, if I'm doing all this and it never performs well, this time I could have just spent making a highly edited video. That could have performed well. It's like time wise, I'm just not too sure what to do. So I think it's like, could I have put this time into making a higher quality video, or do I just keep on pushing it? It's a bit like, that's kind of
it's a tough one, man. Honestly, I think I did, like I say, I've done the dailies for almost 2 months, and I am tempted to switch back to the better concepts, just a little bit, not a crazy amount of thought into it, but just a bit more planning, a bit more of just thinking about what's the title going to look like. Because the dailies were fun to make in it, and obviously you did the dailies as well, but like you said, like they do, unless each, I saw a video on it it was about Sam Sulek, and it was like they work for him because as soon as you see his thumbnail, even though it's not a crazy thumbnail, he's jacked. So you're immediately like, how's this guy, this young guy, like, so, you know, like so huge? So you click on it, and then he's really good at talking to the camera, and he's very good at just talking, you know, directly to the viewer. Whereas if it's like us guys, we have to have that same level of intrigue from the get-go, and then once they click and it's a very unedited video, we need to kind of be good on camera. So I've noticed mine take a
dip. Say we're not jacked.
What are you trying to say? So
you're someone who's kind of like switched to doing one a week from 2 a week. How have you found that for yourself?
Yeah, I mainly wanted to do that because I knew I wanted to post short form stuff every day. I wasn't really focusing on short form before, and I think it's going pretty well. Like the videos, they're kind of similar. Like they're no like crazy concepts or anything, but there's a bit more that goes into the editing. There's like a bit of animation in there sometimes, and the edits come out a bit cleaner. So there's more time spent on the editing, and I'm just doing one video a week, obviously. And I'm liking it at the moment. I think I'm just enjoying it because I do like making short form content as well. I think I was getting a bit burnt out before, and I just got into the cycle of having like the same week every week, or like when it came to a day when I was filming for YouTube, I wasn't really looking forward to it. But now that I'm doing the short form stuff, I'm like, I don't know, I personally enjoy it more, so it makes me want to do it more. I feel more enthusiastic a bit when I do it, and then it also just gave me a chance to be on like all platforms as well, because I can post those shorts on YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram. And I think overall, like, in terms of like my YouTube channel, it's still growing at a similar rate, so it hasn't had any sort of negative impact. So I'd say overall it's been kind of positive, because I'm not spending as much time on the long form stuff. It's giving me a chance to be on all platforms, and my channel's still growing at a similar rate. So I didn't really see the negatives. The only downside I've found is if, for example, you've got a kit, like right now I've got this bundle dropping, I only have that one time per week on YouTube to push it. Obviously, you can push it in shorts, but I do feel like it's harder to get people to click on things from a short than it is on a long form YouTube video, because they're there for like 10 to 15 minutes, aren't they? And they're gonna, a lot of people check the description. It's like a good opportunity to push things, whereas shorts is just like, okay, you see it, but then you just scroll on to the next one. You're not really in the right mind state to be thinking, okay, let me go to his profile, let me click in his bio and all that. So that's the only downside I can think of, really. But I think it's working. Obviously, it's only been like 2 months, but I think it's working for me, definitely. I remember seeing a video of Mr. Beast a while back talking about this. Obviously, his content's a lot different. I can't remember the exact numbers he was saying as the example, but he was basically saying it's like a lot easier to get one really well thought out and put together video to hit 1 million views compared to getting 10 average videos to have that joint amount of 1 million views, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then like his style of content is just so different to what we're making. I don't know if that translates across all types of content, but I don't know. I think it's working for me personally anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, to like promote kits as well. I think it was really good to do it through short form content. Like, obviously, when I put my drum kit out, I did it a lot through like reels and stuff. So
yeah.
So what I do, it'd be in the video somewhere. Like I'd be cooking up with it or something, but I wouldn't say to buy it. I'd just put it in the description. I'd be like, drums from this kit. So
yeah,
I think even if it's the downside, I think you could still push your kit out, because if you're doing like daily shorts or daily reels, whatever, just like saying it's from your kit, not saying to buy it, just saying it's from it is quite good. And just using it in your video, like it's been weird. Like I've had times where because obviously my kit's been out for quite a while now. It's like my other kit. And then I recently put a video out using it, and I literally put from the kit. And then after, like, I literally made like a few sales, like 10 minutes after it. I was like, what the hell? And so I think that could still be good to push kits just through that short form content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not like pushing it, but like, I
haven't like tested it properly. We'll see. I think like all the videos I've got over the next week before my launch, I purposely like pre-recorded loads of short stuff to push the kit. And just kind of doing what you said, like not saying go buy this kit, but just getting people to join the waitlist, or just letting people know the sounds are from this kit. So it'll be interested to see over the next few weeks, because this is when I'm like properly pushing shorts in the hope that people would either like join the waitlist or get the kit on launch day. So yeah, we'll see. I'll have to update you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that sounds good though, for sure.
I would say just going back to like, the content side of things, I would say that me personally, I'm thinking about switching again to like not to the daily ones, but similar to like the more like 1 or 2 a week, but like the bigger concepts. Just because I've stumbled onto this YouTube. I showed you guys him last week. It was that guy that talks about the guy that did the YouTube promotions video, and he just came up with this really cool strategy on basically just finding the concepts, the best ways and the best concepts for a video, and how a lot of people initially, and I'm guilty for doing it, like you go on YouTube and you look at like what popped off for X producer, and then you just copy that style. I think a lot of people did it for like the Kyle Beats kind of style, including myself, and it didn't work too well for me. And the reason was like he's already kind of gone, kind of blown, not blown, but he's doing really well. Like he's already got a very well established audience. So like the key was to use, it's a website called one of 10, and it allows you to search for.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Yeah, it allows you to search for. You just type in your niche, so FL Studio, production tutorials or whatever, and then you filter it to make sure that the only videos that pop up are with smaller channels with 100k sub 100k subscribers, and then you filter it so that they're to the views that did really well, so 200k plus views. So then it shows you all the videos that have blown up for smaller channels, and by a lot more than what they normally get. Yeah, take a look, because it really is, honestly, man, it changed my whole perspective to do it. So I did this exact thing for my last video, found a video that had blown up for a small channel in a similar niche, not the exact same, because you don't want to just recreate the exact same video, and then made a video in that style, similar thumbnail, similar concept, but just for your niche, so for us guys like trap producers. And I did this, and literally yesterday I posted it 2 days ago, and it went straight to 1 out of 10. And I know it's only one video, but it could be like a pretty cool strategy moving forward. And yeah,
it's called 1 of 10.
That could be an option. Yeah, I'll send you the video after we get off.
So you're basically searching for videos that are performing well for smaller channels.
Yeah,
in your niche.
And there's also like a metric on there that says it's like a multiplier, so it shows you how many times more views it got compared to that specific channel's average. So let's say I averaged 3K views a video, and then let's say my Busker one popped off, got like 100K plus views. So the multiplier on that is like 21 times, 21x what I'd normally get. So you're looking for the gold. You're looking for the videos that went crazy for that one video, especially. And then if the multiplier is big as well, then that means it really went compared to its normal, the normal channel's performance. And then once you've got a bunch of those video concepts, then you just make sure you're running through like Google Trends, and it tells you if that video blew up just because that video was getting searched for at that particular time, or if it didn't, then it's a win-win because people weren't searching for it and it still blew up. So you're even more likely for that video to do well, at any point whenever you post it. But I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video that I watched about it because he explains it way better than I'm explaining it. But yeah, it's definitely something to check out if you're not too sure, like, moving forward what you want to do in terms of strategy. Yeah,
it's a good idea.
A bit of a word vomit, but yeah, I got so excited about doing it, and then the video actually performed for me. I was like, shit, it actually really worked.
Was that the video you posted called The Dark Side of Making Beats?
Yeah. So there was a similar video called The Dark Side of Making Music, and it was more about the industry side, like if you're more of an artist. So I was like, let me do it for producers and just kind of hit a few points that not a lot of people really talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, you know what? It was funny. I can't remember when you posted it, but I kept on seeing the thumbnail because obviously I've got a few different YouTube channels, and every one that I switched to, your thumbnail would be there, and I was like, I know this video is doing well for you because the thumbnail enticed me.
The same thing for me, bro.
In there, it was like quite like clickbaity. Like I wanted to see what you had to say about it. But you're popping up on all channels, so.
Oh, what, the most recent one?
I was just thinking, yeah, the one, The Dark Side of Making Beats.
Yeah.
Whenever I was switching my YouTube channels, your thumbnail was on my home screen. So I was just thinking, like, the algorithm's doing its thing.
Yeah, it definitely worked for that one. And then when I used that 1 of 10 site and just to search stuff, my Busker one came up, like, obviously because that one did really well for the channel. So
yeah,
and I knew I needed to continue that, but I just was trying to do the dailies, which didn't really work. So yeah, I'm gonna have to carry that series on as well. Some sauce right there.
Yeah. Cool, bros. I actually got a run. As you can see, it's kind of getting dark on my side.
Yeah, of course.
It's been getting gradually darker and darker.
Yeah, no problem.
Yo, Ellis, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing all those stats.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
No, of course, man. I appreciate you getting me on here, for sure.
Anytime,
no
bro.
Problem, man.
All right, much love for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, bros. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.